Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Gamestah TV for the HGC qualifiers. We are into round 3. We've been through Sky Temple, we've been through Cursed Hollow, and now we are knocking on the door of the Towers of Doom. And if you have just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, just going to run through the results quickly. In round 1 on stream, we saw Nomia take down Enigmatic Genius. Keep Yourself Safe took down Team Zol. Memeteam with a win over Kanga, and Sasu took down Elite. Round number 2 just passed us by, and Team Zol were the victorious winners over Team Elite. And then Enigmatic Genius took down Kanga off stream. Keep Yourself Safe with the eventual win over Sasu, and Nomia with the victory over Memeteam. And speaking of the Memeteam, they will be on stream for this match, going up against Enigmatic Genius, and I will handball it over to this man, this god of Heroes of the Storm in the region, Skimmy.
Too kind there, Kitfox. Thank you. Let's get into this one. As you said, Memeteam up against Enigmatic Genius. Now, we've already seen Enigmatic Genius. That's going to be an interesting one to say. We'll abbreviate that down to EG, like we mentioned. Not Evil Genius, but just EG as a standalone. But yeah, Memeteam. This is a team that have been around for, well, collectively, not too long, but the individual players themselves have been through thick and thin. We have Demise there, who was, well, one of the players that actually came in the last championship of 2016 in the first ANZ LAN studio environment. We've got Pesky. Well, I believe we've had so many iterations of that, be it Pesky Fan Club, even the Vandie Fan Club, which I'm sure you're very familiar with. And then we have we have Hiccup, another Kiwi, so I can feel a little bit more incorporated in this whole ANZ region. What are you thinking about this one there, Vandie?
Loving it. I mean, as you said, Memeteam, they've all been around for a while. We've got a couple of old faces there. Seeing them play collectively, I don't think I've seen very much of that happening. But, hey, it's when you've got your friends together and you pick them together for a group, you're only going to have a good time. And hopefully win along the way. And, of course, the team from before, we had the EG boys. As we'll sort of be referring to them, they played a pretty decent, I guess, first game, but I think they're hungry for a win now, Skimmy, and that's when things get interesting. First one was only a warm-up.
First one is always a warm-up. Definitely when you get those nerves and those jitters off the screen, you want to just get into things, and, well, Tales of the Doom is one of those maps which is quite unique in its own right. It's the only map I think I've ever seen Murky being played competitively. If we see it today, I'm going to love it. I think we're going to see some interesting picks come out here, and I think, once again, it's going to be a lot of priority on towards that global, definitely trying to burrow around and getting as many of those tail shots as possible. But it all brings me back to that one very famous ANZ game where we had 26 shots pop off at once and just swing the momentum completely on its head.
That's what Towers of Doom can do, and that's why it can be quite a, I guess, up and down sort of battle there. It's all about controlling your objectives, and that's why Murky gets picked competitively. He's just so good. He's the stall king. Your team dies and you just need to buy yourself a couple more minutes. Don't worry, go Murky. So it's all about. In fact, I don't want to say it, but I will say it. I was thinking that there was going to be a Dahaka ban just for obvious reasons on this one. That global presence on Towers of Doom is just asking to sort of rip your hair on frustration. And as you said, Dahaka's just such a strong pick at the moment, Skimmy. So there goes a ban hammer, and he's out.
Absolutely. And I mean, he brings so much damage to the board, and we saw how much sustain he had in the last game. And really, when you're fighting over these towers for as long as possible, one, trying to delay, or even just trying to capture yourself, if you have sustain, well, you bring your team fair chance of actually swinging that fight in their favor. Now, this is the first Zoljan ban we've seen, so we're not going to see 3 out of 3 in terms of him seeing some action tonight. Actually, a fair bit of presence in that regard. Li Ming, though. Now, this is a true and trusted pick. Obviously, the resets can make this one so ridiculously strong on this map, so there's no reason that should be really disputed. But then standard rotation comes out now. Malfury, no surprises. But Diablo, this is the first time on stream he's not being banned, and they're going to take full advantage of that.
They're going to take full advantage indeed. And an apocalypse on such a narrow map, or just, I guess, such a... Well, when you're all clumped around in one place, it's going to be a bad time. So that's why Diablo can just sort of shine, just as well as just his disruption that he causes great. But I'm liking the Li Ming, the Tychus for the shredding. We didn't see Tychus in Game 1 and Game 2, which I thought was a little bit strange, especially because there were a couple of teams boasting really strong frontliners there, Skimmy. So I thought Tychus was a must-have, but here he is, the man himself. So we get to see some Tychus action tonight.
I like Tychus a lot, and I think he's not as highly prioritized in this region as he is internationally, and I wouldn't be too sure what the reasoning is behind it. Maybe comfort, as we've already discussed. I know our region likes a lot of fasted. as well as the Vala. But, you know, Vala does fall into that category of just being universally strong and not the hardest mechanically to master there. But 20 seconds on this second rotation as we go into what the next bands are going to be. I'm thinking a Brightwing ban wouldn't go amiss here. It would, once again, negate the global pressure, but also the control that the side of Tales of Doom, or sorry, the side of Memeteam are trying to achieve.
I mean, they're really dipping in for this one. They really want to prioritize, and they've chosen Oriole. I mean, that's quite clever, considering Oriole Tigers can be a bit of a nightmare to deal with. And as they've sort of picked their support, they just want to narrow down that pool available to the blue team.
Well, that's it. And now they've got a chance to really think about what they want to ban. Whoa, Sergeant Hammer. Now, Sergeant Hammer is a very strong carry at the moment, and I suppose really fits that niche role more than anything, but definitely have seen some cheese strats, and especially on this map, hasn't really gone amiss. We've seen it from time to time, especially late last year. Obviously, still feeling the wrath of that pick and not going to let that one go through. Now, switching it across to EG, they've got 2 picks of their own. How do they want to lock this one up? They've already got Diablo flip into the entangling routes. They may venture now for the VP as well from Zeratul. Another great map for him to be elusive and sneaky and really get around and try and disrupt what they're trying to achieve. And if they don't, I have a hunch feeling that Memeteam will snap that one away because Hiccup loves to play it.
I think that they would want to either, as you said, just pick it for themselves or make sure that they've got damn good counters to him, because having an unchecked Zeratul, as we saw in the first game, can be the worst. And I'm liking these picks here. We've got a Nubarak, who is, I guess, just a mage tank. With all the armor changes that have gone around, he's just very good at blocking out that damage. And the Fire Lord himself gets to be played, and he can be quite strong. As you said, any 3-laner map, Ragnaros can be a big, big threat. Just any map with any lanes in particular. You just got to make sure you don't force a team fight there when he's got Lava Wave up.
This is an interesting pickup here. Now, Anubrak has really fallen out of favor when it comes to this meta, and I love Anubrak, a very durable tank that especially is designed to handle those mages, but has really fallen out of favor when it comes to tanks like, you know, Diablo, ETC, and Muradin, that trifecta. But look at the response. I mean, I thought it was going to be Kerrigan, maybe even the Zeratul, but they go, look, we're going to go for that true and trusted cheese SML in your face comp. They want the Thrall, they want the Rhaegar, and they want to just punch on.
They do just want to punch on. And Thrall, I mean, he's been picked with not that much success, I guess, tonight. As you said, maybe people are prioritizing Earthquake too much when, in fact, they can feel confident to take the Sundering again. It has gotten a little bit of a boost, and perhaps in some situations, Sundering arguably could have been better. But it's really up to building around your team and what works. I mean, with the ETC, I feel like Earthquake's a better choice here, but we just got to wait and see. And another fire character himself, Kael'thas, chosen to sort of finish off the ranks there, giving them tons of damage to fight with.
A lot of focus on these backline ranged assassins to chuck at the deeps from afar. Going to be interested to see what Ragnaros decides to build. Now, we saw it in the Royal Rumble once, and they went for a blast wave-centric build, not really having anybody to really enable with that. Not sure if we're going to see it in this case. I mean, he does have the Anubrak and Diablo to really try and empower, but might be veering towards a more conventional build, either the Living Meteor or even the Swing of the Hammer with the Sulfuris.
Swing of the hammer, indeed. And I guess another thing that we really like about Ragnaros is his passive. The fact that he can sort of delve into a tower, and if he's got high pressure on it, he can actually soak up that damage that would otherwise go to destroying it. So it's very good for stalling. Perhaps if you've got a capping coming and you don't want the team to get additional shots on you. So once again, Ragnaros is quite a good little niche pick for this map. I mean, he's a good pick in general, but that's just an added bonus for this map in particular.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, round number 3 of the Gamestah Summer Qualifiers for the HGC Road to the Finals. Here we go. On Towers of the Doom, on the left-hand side, rocking the blue squad, it is Memeteam, led by Demise. He's on Li Ming, he's got Icebolt on ETC, Pesky playing Rhaegar, Hiccup on Tychus, and Sharper rounds things out on Thrall.
Perfect. And then on the red team, we've got Jaddy playing Anubarak, Moondruid on Diablo, Serena on Malfurion, Against Time on Kael'thas, Blindside playing Ragnaros, and that is Team EG.
Now what's interesting here is actually Hiccup is on a ranged carry, which usually isn't the case, but look at that, I have to go straight into the Carnage because level 1 is about to begin. Sharper getting so low, but he does get taken out before the trade across does come for the first blood. Jaddy actually gets away on 100 health, but it's going to be a trade of shots either way. Pesky down to 30, Pops with that, that fire. I mean, this is just chaos. 4 members instantly popped away. Fire beats ice, and if you've ever played Pokemon, you'd know Charmander is the number 1.
I mean, we were talking about how teams were being so conservative conservative, and boom, there we just had it. It was just a clash. They were hungry for blood, these guys, and they each believed that they had the better team fight. I mean, now that they sort of got it out of their systems, they can settle into lane, it doesn't give them a huge advantage. It's more about all the psychological momentum that they gain at this point.
Absolutely, and I'm just about to call out that bottom lane catch there. They went for the root. Hiccup was in a bit of a spot. He actually dashed into the root, and I don't think Against Time was counting for it. The Flame Strike miss would have picked up the kill otherwise, but they go for the rotate between mid and bot. They actually catch out Sarina there on Mouth. He's dropped down so low to 177. Nice is looking for the pick. He finds Moon Druid instead, but that is Diablo. The Lord of Terror is not going to be concerned by that whatsoever, but Kitfox, he ran one way, the rest of his team went the other, and that completely resets all stacks required on that Convection level 1 talent.
Indeed, and I mean, just calling out on Rag now, I'm seeing the first talent picked up be Engulfing Flame, which is going to empower Blast Wave. We might be seeing another Blast Wave build here tonight, Skimmy, but he's got plenty of enablers this time around, and Sharper getting really low in the top lane just there.
Absolutely, looking to try and really bully Sharper out of that one, obviously Fro. We saw it in the other game, having so much lane dominance and biggest bully in this game, but to actually flip on its head, you know, Ragnaros would be a really good contender to that. Has a lot of sustain himself and can push that wave in, especially with the support of Jetty coming up there. First altars are about to spawn, and that is 3 of them in place. Interesting to see how both of these teams set up right now. ETC is going to go for the 4 cap. Actually, blindside does interrupt him, but it allows Moondruid on the right-hand side to get the 4 cap. Bottom side, Hiccup is getting a free channel. Sarina is going to come in for the late cap, but it's actually not going to matter. He's already gone for that one. Mouth dropped, actually, sorry, Rag dropped amongst all of that. And shots fired, starting in favor of the Meme Team.
Meme Team was very clever. They managed to pick up their siege camp as well. They timed it quite well to overlap with the altar spawning. So it just put added pressure. And as he said, Serene just caught between a rock and a hard place. Didn't know what he wanted to do. Didn't know whether he wanted to assist his team or disrupt Hiccup from capping the point, and ended up doing neither.
Ended up doing neither. Now, I'm really interested to really keep an eye on how this Blast Wave build actually goes out on blindside. I wouldn't be too surprised if he actually goes for the Sulphurous Hammer at level 10 and just allow them to really bully the team. If they go for the Bloodlust, look, we can just turn it on its head, instantly stun somebody out, and negate anything they're trying to achieve. But we'll have to wait for this game to progress. Right now, there is a favor in terms of levels against Meme Team, but they've got Scouting Drone now on Malfurion, which is actually a nice little pick here. It does mean they don't get as much cooldown reduction from Innovate, but it's going to allow them to scout out these engagements, which is what they're going to need to do, because the fight breaks out at the midpoint before that door is unlocked. They all clamber onto ETC, nowhere for him to run, and he does drop back to the respawn area.
Iceball was just caught in a strange place there. He was just trying to make a rotation, but just found the wrong team awaiting him. And as you were just sort of saying, I really do like that Scouting Drone talent. I was going to call it out earlier. It just means, I guess, they're going to be less surprise engagements. And because the map is so much smaller, you can get a lot of value out of it, actually.
I really want to see how this Enigmatic favors as the game progresses on, because this is a pick that I like myself quite a bit. Actually, I believe this is one of the strongest maps for him. I used it a fair bit myself back in the day, but he did say the favor in terms of tanks have fallen out a little bit. You'd almost view this Enigmatic pick as more of a bruiser really than a solo tank. Really add much more durability to this comp, but he's going to go in for the engagement anyway. Does actually have the Blast Wave on top of him, and that's trying to show a little bit of viability as to why this is being chosen. There goes Moondruid into the flip, overpower, finds Tychus. Hiccup, you have been killed. And that's great timing here. 18 seconds on those next altars. Tychus will rock up late.
There was just so much, I guess, CC present for the EG boys. They're really making the most out of it as well as the wave clear that they've got. It's quite, I guess, formidable. And it's going to be, I guess, a bit of a problem for Meme Team to deal with. They have wave clear of their own, but they keep getting engaged upon and just caught in strange skirmishes that aren't in their favor.
Sarina does get the free cap in the bottom lane. Now, Against Time has no mana here, so this is a perfect opportunity for the Meme Team to turn things around. Iceball has dropped low. He's not going to spend that Living Bomb if he can avoid doing so. Jetty is in the meantime looking to try and set things up. Living Bomb is going to pop Iceball down so dangerously low. He does have the Echo Pedal. He does have the heals available from the guitar. Pops the well, and he's going to join up again. Sharper, well, he's caught in a bit of a situation. He's in the top side trying to perform a pincer maneuver, but that's all they need to do. 5 members battering through like a Roman fortification. They find one, they look on towards Diablo. He's not going to be phased, coming straight back with all those souls, but they now run into the fog. They look for Jetty down to 160. He does manage to bow recharge away, but that's not without finding another pick. Flame Strike does connect, but once again, Kitfox loses all of those stacks on Convection, and it's 8 apiece now in terms of levels.
That's going to hurt EG a lot, especially with the Kel'Thas losing his stacks. He was doing so well at getting that quest done. It's so valuable and important that he does not die before he completes that quest, because it sets him way back, and that was just really well fought by Memeteam. I was saying that they were fighting in strange skirmishes. This time, they had a lot more restraint, and they managed to just sort of pull back, heal up, and regroup. And Icebolt not dying to Kel'Thas really helped their team out, and I guess enabled Li Ming, once they got it back in, to pick up that kill and get the all-important resets.
Now, an interesting talking point I want to actually go about is Demise's build here on Li Ming. He's actually opted for Power Hungry, giving him more AP when he picks up that regen globe, as opposed to the Spell Armor. Now, if you look at the side of EG, they have so many mages and so much magic damage, so it's an interesting choice that he's gone for that one. We'll have to see if it is the right decision to give him those resets as these fights go on, but he's not going to be as durable as otherwise. But level 10 is so dangerously close on both teams. This is when the party starts. I'm really excited to see what Rag goes for, as how he's going to try and counteract this bloodlust comp.
I really like it, and I mean, this is the first game where we've seen both teams very close on experience, Skimmy, and they've hit their heroic talents at about the same time. It's just about utilizing it. Icebolt getting very aggressive there.
He has gone very aggressive. He's actually copped a fair bit of damage. Phoenix was popped pretty preemptively there. Root did come across onto Hiccup, zoned away from the rest of the team. Pesky's going to draw the attention of 3 members, but Icebolt goes in with a big mosh pit, but instantly negated. There goes the knock-up. Oh, the Ancestral connects across as well, and Sulphurous Smash actually was picked up. He's going to run away on 180. Does have the guitar solo ready every so often. He gets the slide away, but Rag is taken away in this skirmish. It's 1 for none right now, and Hiccup is caught in the wrong side, but Sharper rocks up to the party and says, hey guys, did you miss me? Here's the Earthquake. Let's make something happen. Apop comes across, interrupts Jetty. He's got no mana, but he finds the reset. Make that 2. Diablo and Kel'Thas gone. They are looking for the 3rd. Demise runs in with the body block, tries to go for the style points with the Arcane Orb. Can't find the 5th, and Cyrena runs away with the fade points.
Draken Laser Drill doing so much work and locking out the team. Once they couldn't get the kill, they were just sort of retreating back into just a turret that was just not giving them any reprieve whatsoever, just burning off their health. And then poor Kel'Thas once again getting set back again. I mean, my heart really goes out to him, because he was so close the first time to finishing off his quest and to be set back. And what a beautiful heal coming out by Pesky to connect instantly with Icebolt being in trouble. It's just really saved him, and once again, that's what we come to sort of know Rhaegar for. I mean, yes, Bloodlust has been favoured a lot more, but I mean, it shows here that Ancestral Healing's not down and out.
Not down and out, and the gank comes across to try and really make that sentiment come true. They look for the kill on towards Frau, went for the camp, and well, it looked like EG thought otherwise. They realised what he was up, and they took him out of that one. But what was really interesting there was the Impaler came across so quickly, almost as if they knew it was about to come, almost so choreographed there from ETC. And the Ancestral really allowed that fight to swing on its head. Now, all members of EG are up in that top lane. Jetty actually goes for the spot, and he sees that they're on that bomber camp. He's going to burrow away, doesn't get a fair bit of damage, but is it going to be enough? Demise is looking for it. Oh, look at the Beatles. The Beatles block the Arcane Orb, and that is definitely an MVP moment there. Otherwise, he would have been a squished little bug. Raid spray from your local countdown.
And I mean, that's what makes Enigmatic just such a good, I guess, anti-mage tank. Oh, sorry, I was just cutting myself in case there's some action going on now, Skimmy.
Oh, there we go. Now Furion taken away before anything can even happen. Rag pops himself in towards that fort, trying to be the raid boss. He chucks out their hammer, but it's not going to connect this time. But Jetty is going, let's get amongst this. Everybody get in here. He pops the Locust on me. He's looking for some damage. Demise has already received the Ancestral Healing. And Jetty, he is running the wrong way. He's trying to kite for as long as possible. He doesn't have Burrow up just yet. He's looking for it. It's going to come up just now. He's run into Sharper, but he Burrow charges straight out of that wolf. The Feral Spirit does not connect. He gets the Blast Wave, runs away to help. He might actually even come around for the swing around, but it's not going to be without Kel'Thas getting taken out. The Mosh Pit connects. And it's absolutely in favour right now of the Meme Team. They've not dropped a single member. They have 13. Jetty is still actually hanging around. He's trying to keep as long as possible so Cyrena can get the cap, but it doesn't matter. The grenade comes across. The Entanga route delays. But this is really them. Once again, EG having to sacrifice.
Oh, Jetty really just playing with fire there. I mean, even Thrall, he's taken the Chain Lightning build as well, so he could have almost been popped there, but, you know, not phased, just backing away casually. He escaped worse. Yeah, we're just seeing so much work come out of that Ancestral Healing. Every time they try to focus down one team member, Pesky drops it, and then they're just sort of back to square one. They're like, oh crap, they didn't die, now what do we do? All our cooldowns have been popped, and just puts them in an awkward position. So really, they should be focusing their efforts on getting Pesky out of the fight as soon as possible, because Rhaegar can't heal himself. That's the weakness of Ancestral Heal.
Deja vu, they're not level 13, but yet they're going for the invade. Jetty actually bit off more than he can do, but his Sulfura Smash comes on through. It connects, and it connects hard, but that doesn't matter because they are so low already. Phoenix is doing so much work across, damaging everyone, but they are all so low, like little flies popping on the wall. Make that 1, 2, 3. How about 4? Jetty running away for his life, and he's the tankiest one of the bunch with all that spell armor. Not really much that the Bugman can do, and he has to run away to live another day. And they weren't level 13. It's the story almost as similar as we saw in Sky Temple. If you don't have the temple, if you don't have the talents, don't engage.
Don't engage, or engage on, I guess, your terms, on more favorable terms, if you can. Otherwise, just defend. That's what you really have to do, but it's hard. I understand what's going through these players' minds, but really it just keeps putting them further and further behind. But in saying that, they're not out of it. They've still got a lot of wave clear that they can do. They just need to sort of catch up on experience and get that pick. As I said, if they knock Pesky out of the fight early, they're really set to win the fight quite easily, because there won't be any Ancestral Healing coming out.
I have opened a tunnel near our
16 to 13. This is as good a time as they're ever going to be able to find a fight. They had every ultimate up on the side of EG except for that APOC, but Cyrena unfortunately has been caught in the wrong situation. Li Ming actually was taken around and taken out in the meantime, but Malfurion was the trade in that bot lane there, and that is going to really, well, I suppose, favour the Meme Team, because they have no support now to top them up. Twilight Dream, well, that is the favourable option here, but really found too much success in this game so far. They're going to look to try and collapse onto Jaddy. He is running away. It's not going to matter. 32 shots against 16. Looks like both top and left, or top and right, are going to be taken away for free. ETC is getting a free channel in the mid, but Rag has other ideas in place for that one. And his build still following that similar theme of the Blast Wave. They're going to try and go for that as much as they can. Skirmish breaks that in the bot lane. Skirmish is still breaking up in the top lane. It's 2v1, but Anubrak gets popped for free. 2v2 continues here, but it's going to keep with against time rocking on up. He's going to connect with the knockup. He's looking for the damage. Sulfura Smash comes across. They are so desperate for kills right now. 16 to 14. They need it to work for them, but the Mush Pick connects onto free, and Demise just like that plays Leapfrog, jumping in. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about your team drops to the floor?
I love the rhyme there, Skimmy, but they managed to cop the Pesky, but it wasn't enough because a huge mosh came out, and as you said, Demise cleaning up there. No Beetles to stop him that time. No Beetles to sort of cop any of that damage. No, it was the team this time. Full reset action just happening, and they're going to go for the boss now, which is interesting because they're going to get 5 shots out of it. They've capped so much, they haven't been able to cap the bottom lane, and that's going to be a good game, Skimmy.
That is GG, just like that. 29 to 0. Never really looked like they were up against it. The levels were a lot closer, mind you, than the first 2 rounds that we've had, but the scoreboard showed a different result. GG there for Meme Team. They take out a convincing victory there. And if we bring up the scoreboard to see what the kills are looking like, look at that. 25 to 9. They were definitely comfortably winning with that one. I think Anubrak, well, you're back on the bench, buddy. That's why you're tier 4.
Poor Anubrak, as you said, he's great at blocking skill shots, but apart from that, I feel like that's, as you said, there's tanks that do what he does better. And even though they don't have that spell sort of mage, anti-mage tag, they still can soak a lot of damage. So yeah, it was unfortunate. But in terms of MVP, Skimmy, I don't know. I think this one was a big one. I was thinking of Pesky with the Ancestral Healings. There was some big Ancestral Healings coming out. Demise, nicely mean gameplay there. Or even against time. He was doing everything right in terms of Kalthus. Yes, he got popped, but just seeing how many gravity lapses he connected and just seeing how much damage he was churning out, he ended the game on 43k hero damage for his team.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky to get picked off about 7 times in that game, and really allowed him to, never really complete the Convection talent at level 1, so didn't find that significant damage boost early on, but he still managed to bring the numbers for a team. Wasn't enough, unfortunately, but did definitely do dividends. In terms of the MVP, ETC, Icebolt is so comfortable in that one, but I'm definitely going to give it to Rhaegar personally. I think Pesky really baited us, as well as the enemy team, into thinking it was going to be a Bloodlust comp, went for the Ancestral, and it all started with that first one when ETC got caught. So what about yourself?
I'm happy to give it to Pesky for MVP. Those were some big Ancestral Heals with high values, so well done.
Well done, Pesky. Round number 3 is yours, my friend. You get the MVP nomination to go in the draw to win yourself a Plantronics sweet-ass headset. Can't go wrong with that one, mate. But we're going to jump to Kitfox once again and we'll bring you some more Heroes of the Storm from ANZ right after this.
Thank you, Skimmy and Vandie. Congratulations, Pesky, with a cracking Ancestral Healing build there. So Sky Temple has been done. Cursed Hollow, we've gone through that, and that was Towers of Doom. Coming up next, we have got Tomb of the Spider Queen here on GameStar TV. Just going to have a look at some results for Round 3. Elite have defeated Kanga, and I do believe that the word has come in that Kanga are going to have to forfeit the rest of their matches for tonight. So the next 2 rounds, whoever is playing Kanga will get a bye. That's easy points, and that's what you want at the end of this competition after 4 weeks. So Kanga's unfortunately dropped a player and will be out. But we're just waiting on the results now. Sasu versus Team Zol. We just saw the meme team take down Enigmatic Genius, and Nomiya versus Keep Yourself Safe, which will be, probably one of the games of the round. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back very, very soon for some more Heroes of the Storm action.